So where is the lawsuit going, and how do we support you guys?
Okay, here's where it's going. We're refiling before February 6th is the deadline that Judge Janice Sammartino afforded us to file our second amended complaint in federal court in San Diego. We had 51 victims. We expect to double that figure of record. And we've been contacted by probably 250,000, 250. 250 victims, but there were, as you mentioned at the top of the program, thousands involved in this. Now, there's a latency period, as we know, but we have filed on behalf of all John and Jane Does who participated in Operation Tomodachi to preserve their rights so that they can file a claim in the future when something arises. With Steve, we know what's happened. With several others, unfortunately, it's the same scenario or beyond. Constantly bleeding from your butt or from gynecologically, and you're a young person, and not at 21 you lose one of your testicles. So we're going to push this forward. As you mentioned, Congress is going to get a report back from the Undersecretary of State in charge of this by April 15th, but we're not waiting for them because where have they been?
And by the way, folks, for those that don't know, radiation attacks fast-growing cells. So your gums, your intestinal lining, and sailors across the board that were part of the operation have been reporting bleeding from their rear ends. So just understand, this is not a game. That means you've got serious radiation sickness. And what makes me mad is they didn't tell people take iodine from what I read. Perhaps the sailor can correct me. But why not tell them to take iodine? Why not tell them now that there's things like Prussian blue and things that could help strip this out of your body, or chelation? I mean, why were you told any of this, Lieutenant Simmons?
They don't want to admit that there's a problem. It's denial. It's denial.
No, it's like telling the first responders don't wear respirators. The air is fine on World Trade Center. I mean, it's beyond just not caring and covering up. They actively don't want you to get any aid or protect yourself. I'd be saying, go down 1,000 feet in the water. You don't need a mask or a tank. You don't need air down there. I mean, it's just... Go back to that briefly. So they never told you to protect yourself from radiation. I
just want to say this to Alex. Glenn Troltz, your guy who you had on the other day, Glenn Troltz, who got measured for cesium. He's got cesium in his body. How much cesium do you think Steve Simmons has in his body?
Well, you must be a listener. Yeah, we had one of our crew on who had his blood tested because he moved from California because he was sick. He had very high levels of cesium that they said was from Fukushima in the major medical report from a major medical lab in Chicago where his blood was sent. And exactly, we need to get the test of your whole crew. It's just amazing. So to be clear, Lieutenant Steve Simmons, who was on the Ronald Reagan aiding through the plume right there at Fukushima, you were miles away and responded when the tsunami hit and then came in. Tell us about, I was reading that you guys were told that there was increased radiation, but then when it started going up and up and up, they said don't worry about it and stop testing?
Honestly, that's new information to me. That is not information that I was purview to, I should say.
Sure. What about iodine? Did they tell you to take potassium iodine?
The only individuals that were taking the potassium iodine were those directly involved with flight ops, those going ashore, and potentially some of those that were working on the deck, but that was it. The rest of the crew, nothing. So you're talking a crew of about 5,500 people, and a small amount of them were working on the deck or actually going ashore.
And by the way, you're living in and around a nuclear reactor on the ship, because that's a nuclear-powered carrier, right?
Correct.
Okay, so did they not have enough potassium iodate or iodine for you, or what happened?
I'm quite sure they had plenty. However, they're going off of misinformation being fed to them from Japan and from Tokyo Electric.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
See the full interview on our sister channel, The Info Warrior, or become a member of PrisonPlanet.tv and help us take the message of freedom and liberty to the next level. Thanks for watching. Spread this information far and wide, and please subscribe to The Alex Jones channel.